They gathered for what was supposed to be a quiet family dinner, a celebration of love, unity, and second chances. But by the time the night was over, 3 people lay dead, 1 was missing, and a blood-soaked dining room told a story too horrifying to believe. Welcome to True Crime World TV, where we uncover real stories that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about family, loyalty, and trust. Before we dive in, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what really happened inside that house on Maple Ridge Lane. It was a warm summer evening in June 2018, in the quiet suburban town of Riverton, Ohio, the kind of place where neighbors waved, kids played until dark, and everyone knew everyone. At the center of it all was the Hawthorne family. Richard, the patriarch, a retired police detective. Eleanor, his devoted wife and Sunday school teacher. Their 2 adult children, Michael and Claire, who had come home that evening to reconcile after months of tension. Also joining them was Anna, Michael's fiancée, a newcomer to the family, nervous but hopeful. It was meant to be a dinner of forgiveness after a long season of secrets. The table was set for 6. But by midnight, only 1 chair would still be upright. The evening began peacefully. Neighbors later reported laughter, the smell of roast chicken drifting from the open window, and the faint sound of music, Sinatra, Richard's favorite. But at 8:47 p.m., a chilling scream shattered the calm. Police arrived 12 minutes later. Inside the scene was chaos. Eleanor was found slumped beside the dining table, a knife wound to her chest. Richard lay near the kitchen doorway, his service weapon discharged. And Michael, their son, was sprawled on the floor, blood pooling beneath him. Claire was nowhere to be found. And Anna, trembling and hysterical, was discovered hiding in the pantry, whispering the same words over and over. "It wasn't supposed to happen like this. He promised me." What did she mean? Who promised her? Detective Laura Hastings, assigned to the case, quickly realized this wasn't a random home invasion. There were no signs of forced entry, no valuables missing. And yet, the phone lines had been cut, and the security cameras had been disabled 30 minutes before the first scream. Whoever did this knew the family. As detectives combed through the house, they uncovered something strange. Richard's study had been ransacked, and among the mess was an old case file labeled the McAllister kidnapping in 1999. Why would a retired detective be reopening a 20-year-old kidnapping case? Then came the first twist. DNA found on the knife that killed Eleanor didn't belong to any of the victims. It belonged to Claire, the missing daughter. But friends described Claire as gentle, artistic, and deeply loyal to her family. Could she really have snapped during dinner and turned on them? The community was stunned. And as the press descended on Riverton, the family dinner that turned into a bloodbath became national news overnight. If you're just joining us, you're watching True Crime World TV, and this case is just getting started. Make sure to subscribe now, because what investigators discovered next flipped this story upside down. 3 days later, investigators received a tip from an anonymous caller. A woman matching Claire's description had been seen checking into a motel just 2 towns over, alone, disheveled, and carrying what looked like a blood-stained backpack. Police raided the room at dawn, but Claire wasn't there. Instead, they found a torn photograph of the Hawthorne family, with Anna's face ripped out, and a handwritten note that read, "He lied to all of us." Fingerprints on the note matched Anna, the surviving fiancée. Detectives brought her back for questioning. This time, her story changed. She admitted that before dinner, she and Richard had argued, something about money, and a secret he was threatening to expose. But there was more. Anna confessed that she wasn't who she claimed to be. Her real name was Annabelle McAllister, daughter of the same couple from Richard's old kidnapping case. Her sister, Lily McAllister, had vanished in 1999, and Richard was the lead detective on that case. Annabelle had changed her identity years later, and now she was engaged to his son. Was it coincidence or revenge? Investigators dug deeper. Records revealed that Richard had been quietly paying large sums of money, unaccounted for in his pension, to a private bank in Chicago under the name L. McAllister. Had Richard known where Lily was all along? And if he did, why hadn't he said anything? The theory was chilling. Anna, may have discovered that Richard had covered up her sister's kidnapping, possibly even profiting from it. And that dinner may have been her stage for revenge. But something still didn't add up. Forensic analysis showed 2 sets of prints on the gun that killed Richard, Anna's, and someone else's. That second match? Claire Hawthorne, the missing daughter. Detective Hastings pieced it together. Anna had orchestrated the dinner to confront Richard about the kidnapping. Claire, suspicious of her brother's fiancé, had secretly recorded the confrontation. But when Richard confessed something dark, that Lily McAllister's body had been buried by mistake during an undercover sting, Claire snapped. She lunged at her father with the knife. Michael tried to stop her. And in the chaos, Richard fired his gun, hitting his own son. Panicked, Claire fled. Anna stayed behind, whispering in shock, "It wasn't supposed to happen like this." But there's one final detail, one that still haunts investigators to this day. Blood found on the back door matched Lily McAllister, the supposedly dead sister. Meaning someone else had been in that house that night. Someone still out there. To this day, Claire Hawthorne remains missing. And new footage from a nearby gas station, captured weeks later, appears to show a woman matching her description traveling with another female, who looked eerily like Lily McAllister herself. Was Lily alive all along? Was this entire bloodbath a twisted family cover-up decades in the making? And if so, who's really responsible for what happened at the Hawthorne family dinner? What you are about to hear next will reveal secrets even darker than murder itself. So if you haven't already, subscribe to True Crime World TV right now and turn on notifications. Because the next episode might just change everything you thought you knew about this case. But here's the part that still haunts detectives to this day. Blood found at the scene didn't belong to any of the victims. It belonged to Lily McAllister, the girl who was supposed to have been dead for 20 years. 2 weeks after the bloodbath on Maple Ridge Lane, the investigation took a darker turn. Detective Laura Hastings sat in her office reviewing footage from a gas station 3 towns over. Timestamp, July 3, 2:17 a.m. The video showed a woman, disoriented, wearing a hood, walking with another woman who looked almost identical to her. The shorter one matched the description of Claire Hawthorne, the missing daughter. The taller one? Same facial structure, same scar above the eyebrow, a scar known only from childhood photos of Lily McAllister. 2 sisters, raised by 2 different families, walking together alive. Hastings replayed the footage on loop. Why would Claire, whose entire family had just been murdered, be with the sister of her brother's fiancé, the woman suspected of planning it all? And where were they going? Police tracked the pair through surveillance. They stopped at a rural motel off Highway 63. By the time investigators arrived, the room was empty, but what they found inside changed everything. On the dresser was a burnt cell phone, the SIM card melted beyond recovery. Next to it, a USB drive labeled Case 47, Truth. When forensics recovered the files, they were stunned. Inside were recordings of conversations between Richard Hawthorne and an unidentified man, believed to be a police insider. In one of the audio clips, Richard's voice cracked as he said, "If anyone ever finds out what we did to that girl, they'll bury us all." What girl was he talking about? Lily McAllister? And who was we? The recording ended abruptly with a gunshot, followed by silence. If this case has your heart racing already, subscribe now to True Crime World TV, because what you're about to hear next completely rewrites everything we thought we knew about the Hawthorne family. Detective Hastings started digging into Richard's past service record. Buried deep in the archives, she found a classified program from 1999, Operation Lilac, a secret task force meant to infiltrate child trafficking rings. Richard was one of the lead undercover agents. And the McAllister kidnapping case? It wasn't random. The McAllisters had been informants, working with police to expose a trafficking network that stretched across state lines. But something went wrong. Lily McAllister wasn't kidnapped. She was taken by the task force itself, hidden as part of a cover-up after an operation gone bad. Richard had smuggled her into witness protection under a false name. A name that appeared again in school records, driver's licenses, and a marriage certificate. Lily McAllister's new name? Claire Hawthorne, the missing daughter. The girl the world thought was Richard's biological child was the kidnapped girl he was supposed to rescue. Everything made sense now. Richard's guilt. The money transfers to a secret Chicago account. The strange tension between Claire and Anna. They weren't just in-laws, they were sisters by blood. One raised in secrecy, one left behind. But why the murders? The recovered USB contained one final file, a video filmed just hours before the family dinner. It showed Claire sitting in her car, eyes swollen, voice trembling. He said Mom wasn't my real mother, that I was never supposed to know. He lied to all of us, but tonight I'm going to make him tell the truth. That dinner was never about reconciliation. It was an interrogation. If your jaw just dropped, don't move. Subscribe to True Crime World TV right now, because this story is about to take a turn that no one, not even the police saw coming. 3 days after the discovery, a call came through from an unknown number. A distorted voice said, "You're looking in the wrong direction." Richard wasn't covering up the crime. He was protecting them from someone else. The line went dead, but the call was traced to a burner phone purchased by Detective Laura Hastings. Her colleagues were stunned. Had Hastings been feeding information to someone connected to the case? Investigators raided her apartment and found a hidden envelope marked LM Phase 2. Inside were surveillance photos, not of the family, but of the detectives investigating them. Hastings wasn't just the lead investigator. She was part of the same Operation Lilac task force from 1999. And the McAllister sisters? They were the only survivors of that operation. Suddenly it became clear, the bloodbath wasn't just revenge. It was cleanup. Someone inside law enforcement had ordered those deaths, to erase the last evidence of the secret operation. The FBI took over the case, releasing a nationwide bulletin for Claire Hawthorne and Lily McAllister, labeling them as persons of interest. But then, another bombshell dropped. A week later, a truck driver in Indiana reported 2 women hitchhiking along a deserted road. He offered them a ride. They said they were sisters. They paid him with a $100 bill, wrapped inside a torn church bulletin from Riverton Baptist, Eleanor Hawthorne's old church. Forensics later confirmed fingerprints on that bill matched Anna McAllister, the woman who supposedly died in the original massacre. Meaning she wasn't dead. At least not yet. And if Anna was alive, who were the 3 bodies buried under the Hawthorne name? When exhumations were performed weeks later, DNA analysis revealed the unthinkable. The bodies buried as Michael, Eleanor, and Anna were not who they appeared to be. The real Anna McAllister's DNA wasn't found anywhere in the house. Instead, the woman everyone assumed was Anna was an imposter, a hired lookalike surgically altered and used to mislead investigators. The last remaining theory? That Anna McAllister had planned the entire massacre, swapping identities, planting bodies, and disappearing with her long-lost sister, Claire, to expose Operation Lilac once and for all. But before investigators could confirm it, one final piece of evidence surfaced. A voicemail left on Detective Hastings' burner phone. A woman's voice, calm, haunting, said, "You buried the truth once. This time we're the ones digging." And then silence. No trace of Claire. No trace of Anna. Only that chilling message echoing through the investigation room. Were they hunting? What really happened during Operation Lilac? And why are powerful people desperate to keep it buried? In the next episode of this chilling series, we'll uncover the final piece of the Hawthorne E. McAllister mystery and reveal who really pulled the strings that night. So don't miss what's coming next. Subscribe to True Crime World TV and turn on the notification bell right now. Because the next chapter will prove that in Riverton, the dead don't stay buried for long.